evidence of the so-called big friendly giant has been found. There is a giant footprint in the sandbank, and while police have cordoned off the area to protect the evidence, people have been posting videos to social media.
The lore surrounding giants, particularly the Nephilim, has been a fascinating subject for generations. These colossal beings have appeared in myths and legends across the globe, from the towering figures of ancient Greece to the formidable giants mentioned in biblical texts. Their existence often elicits wonder, sparking a myriad of questions about their origins and the truths behind these age-old tales. Recent sightings and purported video evidence claiming to capture these giants have surfaced, reigniting discussions about whether these legendary beings might still roam the earth today. Are these sightings merely figments of imagination, or could they point to a hidden reality? Giants of legend. For ages, human culture has relied on stories about giants as a means of teaching lessons or reflecting society values. Biblical accounts portray giants such as the Nephilim as the progeny of heavenly creatures, representing a formidable bridge between the heavenly and earthly domains. Such entities remind us of a bygone era when fantastical beings were believed to coexist with humans, and they pose a threat to our assumptions about what it is to be normal. Their presence begs the obvious question of human genealogy, as it implies that our ancestry may be intricately linked to entities much beyond ourselves. The qualities of giants are often shaped by the societies that tell their stories, as is common across many cultures. The Titans, for instance, stand for the unpredictability of life and the forces of nature in Greek mythology. The gods' conflicts with giants in Norse mythology symbolize humanity's fights against impossibly big problems. These stories illustrate the hopes and anxieties of bygone civilizations and provide light on how people viewed the world and the powers that be in it. On rare occasions, archaeological findings have provided credence to these age-old tales. Some have speculated that the discovery of large skeletal remains and artifacts indicates the presence of giants. Critics, nevertheless, say that people tend to misunderstand or disregard the context of these results. Still, the fascination in giants hasn't gone away, and people keep looking into the possibility that they existed in the past and had an impact on human history that we don't yet fully grasp. All forms of popular culture, from literature and movies to conspiracy theories, display a fascination with giants in today's society. There has been a resurgence of interest in the myths since technological advancements have made it easier to capture and share proof of these beings. Who knows? Maybe there's some truth to these urban legends after all these years. Delving further into modern reports of giant sightings brings us to the crossroads of myth and fact, pushing the limits of our belief in what is conceivable. The Japanese giant. An enormous figure measuring roughly 13 feet in height suddenly appears in a shocking video shot during a Japanese military parade, prompting widespread curiosity regarding the creature's provenance and legitimacy. Both the audience and the conversation around giants in Japanese folklore are captivated by this appearance. Notable among these stories is that of Dutu, a fabled monster from Japan. The story goes that Dutu could easily modify the landscape, making mountains and lakes because he was so enormous. Were these mythical giants figments of people's imaginations, or do they represent real-life interactions with creatures of enormous size? The video has sparked a range of opinions. Some have speculated that it may have been lifted from an old Japanese film, further muddying the waters between fact and fantasy. The mystery surrounding the footage's origins adds to the mystery, leaving viewers to wonder if this gigantic being could be one of the planet's last examples of its kind. In Japan, where cultural identity and historical consciousness are intricately bound up with gigantic lore, this story hits close to home. The bigger issue of what defines a giant in modern culture emerges as individuals analyze the significance of the sighting. Is size the only determining factor, or does it extend to all creatures with superhuman talents? The concept that giants may coexist with humans raises profound philosophical concerns regarding the essence of truth and our comprehension of history in a world where myth and science frequently clash. The eternal obsession with the unknown is exemplified by the continuing fascination with this gigantic figure. It beckons us to probe more into the connections between myth, history, and science in the hopes of discovering what our modern world might be like as a result of these legends. What does it mean for our comprehension of our role in the cosmos if mysteries continue to envelop us, testing our perspective of reality? The Nephilim Soldier. An especially disturbing clip apparently shows a Nephilim soldier striding majestically along American forces. People all over the world are wondering if this footage is real or not. The video shows a group of powerful and towering troops, yet one of them seems dwarfed according to eyewitness testimony. This could be a hint at some exceptional attributes shared by the Nephilim. In addition to casting doubt on the reality of giants, this sighting calls into question the ethics of military secrecy and the limits of human knowledge when it comes to these creatures. According to accounts, troops who were involved in the incident have been ordered not to discuss what happened, and the military has remained silent in reaction to this footage. Many conspiracy theories have been sparked by this degree of secrecy. A number of conspiracy theorists have raised concerns about possible government experiments involving enormous people or genetically altered soldiers based on the idea that the Nephilim Soldier may have superhuman skills. While these theories don't have any solid proof, they do show how people are fascinated by and terrified by the military and its ability to conduct covert operations. People started talking about the possibility of giants in today's society as the video went viral on the internet. We may have to rethink how we interpret old writings if we accept the possibility that these beings are still among us. Doing so would undermine conventional wisdom about the past. The title Nephilim, which is typically translated as fallen ones, brings even more intricacy to this story. Is this just an optical illusion made worse by technology? Or are we really seeing proof of long extinct beings that have managed to stay alive? The mesmerizing quality of this film makes spectators question their assumptions about the world and the existence of the supernatural. As the conversation progresses, the growing interest in gigantic beings serves as a constant reminder of the human need to understand the world and its mysteries. Did giants, who were formerly believed to be nothing more than stories, really have secrets that have eluded us all? What more is out there that we don't know? Giant in a cave in Mexico. An incredible video shows a tall man coming out of a cave near Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, in July 2020. Not only does this video get people excited, but it also makes them wonder a lot about the figure and where she came from. Giant stories recur frequently in Mexican mythology, drawing inspiration from biblical accounts. The giant seems to be aware of the camera and looks around, making one question if it is real or just a tale. It could be a link to human history. This sighting is set against the intriguing backdrop of the Queen Amun narrative, which is crucial in Aztec mythology. Legend has it that the gods conjured up these monstrous creatures endowed with superhuman strength and power. The stories describe their demise as a result of catastrophic disasters that ended their civilization as a result of human disobedience. Many people believe the video's giant has some connection to this extinct race, which would tie the sighting into a complex web of cultural heritage that lives on in modern culture. Whether or not early explorers really encountered giants throughout their conquests is a matter of controversy among scholars. Detailed accounts of their enormous size and power have been transmitted from one generation to the next in the tales of these encounters. Thinking back on this new footage raises the intriguing prospect that we could be coming across traces of these legends even now. Is this some kind of alien like Sasquatch or some other legendary beast? Or are we seeing a relic of a long-vanished culture? We see how mythology and reality meet, and it shows how fascinated people still are with the past. What mysteries does nature still conceal, even as we delve deeper into these fascinating stories? Is there truth in our folklore that could make us rethink our place in the universe and the past? The giant's emergence from the cave is a constant reminder that the boundary between myth and truth is frequently porous, compelling us to seek knowledge and understanding at all times. Jakob Nacken, the Nazi giant. Jacob Nacken, a former circus performer turned German soldier, stood an incredible 7 feet 3 inches tall during World War II. He was an imposing sight off the battlefield as well as in it. After being enlisted, Jacob gained fame for his towering stature and was eventually named one of the tallest soldiers in history. This account of Jacob, who was captured in August 1944, sheds light on the cultural conceptions of giants during a turbulent moment in history, as well as his exceptional stature. The fact that the Allied forces captured Jacob and imprisoned him in England only served to increase his fame. His tenacity and determination while imprisoned came to represent the fortitude of the people who endured the hardships of war. In the years after the war ended, he went back to Germany and then moved to the US, where he became famous for impersonating Santa Claus and capitalizing on his towering stature. His time in the United States demonstrated how legendary characters may become cultural icons, entertaining and inspiring audiences well beyond their mythological roots. Society's interest with persons who violate physical conventions is also reflected in the circumstances surrounding Jacob Nacken. His life story exemplifies the challenges that an exceptionally tall person could face in both civilian and military settings. As he mesmerized people all throughout the country, Jacob's performances showcased his physical qualities and larger-than-life charisma, leaving a lasting impression on the entertainment business. Even in the face of adversity, his legacy serves as a reminder that we can find strength and optimism in the stories of giants, real or imagined. In addition, the story of Jacob encourages a larger examination of the cultural importance of giants in history. Whether in folklore or contemporary depictions, the giant figure frequently represents power, fragility, and strength. Figures like Jacob show how people who are different from the norm may become beloved idols in a society that is quick to judge based on outward appearances. His adventure makes us think about how our cultural narratives about giants have shaped our identities and how we view humans. How might these contemporary biographies of historical figures shake up our perceptions of the past and the remarkable people that make up our world? Giants in Peru? For a long time, the Peruvian Andes have been a mystery, with tales of gigantic creatures appearing out of this mysterious terrain. One fascinating incident occurred when Glad Cordova, the filmmaker, recorded footage of what seemed like a gigantic figure peering down from a mountaintop. In addition to startling onlookers, this incident set the internet ablaze with theories on what the mysterious creature might have been. This gigantic figure stands in sharp contrast to the common people around it, prompting serious inquiries into the possibility that we are all being watched by supernatural beings. Legends and myths from Peru are famously intricate, frequently including giants and otherworldly creatures. Native American folklore often includes encounters with gigantic beings who were thought to have wandered the planet in the past. Some have even speculated that there may be a link between the two, given the striking resemblance between the film from Cordova and these old stories. Spectators are left to ponder the limits of what is real and what is mythical by the figure's frightening stance and apparent awareness of its environment. The region's long history of UFO sightings adds another layer of complexity to the account regarding massive encounters. Some people think that the Andes Mountains in Peru set the stage for UFO and gigantic sightings because of the country's reputation for otherworldly activity. What exists beyond our present comprehension of life on Earth is questioned by this blending of myth, history, and contemporary sightings. Do these gigantic beings represent something deeper about the way humans interact with the unknown, or are they relics of a different time? The enduring allure of Peruvian giants is a testament to the enchantment of mythology and the mystique of nature. People are starting to talk about how these sightings show our anxieties and interests as they try to figure out what they mean. How does it feel to come face to face with an entity of such magnitude? What impact do these events have on our reality perception and the myths we perpetuate? Curiosity and amazement are sparked by the ongoing search for answers. Could there be any links between enormous stories from the past and those from the present? And how can these tales influence our perception of reality? Giant spotted in Oregon. 2 TikTok users have come forward with shocking claims of encountering a big monster in the Oregon highlands, setting off a stunning chain reaction. This trend started on November 1, 2023, when ex-state councilman James Goebel made some shocking assertions in a video that went viral. James, in the video, talks about a huge rock formation that, in his mind, hides a doorway to another dimension. An enormous figure appears to be peering out from behind the rock while he records, causing viewers to be both alarmed and excited. James's claim that this figure looks like a giant has generated a lot of interest and debate. The footage and eyewitness stories have sparked debate about whether the giants are symbolic of something completely different or have ties to old folklore. The video's viral status adds fuel to the fire as internet communities argue passionately over the validity of the allegations and what this finding could mean. The fact that James came clean about being trailed by white vehicles while he explored the area has added another layer of intrigue, with many wondering if there is any link to government monitoring or covert operations. A broader conspiracy theory involving the existence of giants has its roots in this story, which is consistent with historical reports of their being concealed or disguised from public knowledge. The consequences of these sightings go much beyond being a source of amusement, as is becoming clear from the ongoing discussions. In particular, the idea of giants and other aspects of the unknown continue to pique people's interest. People are more likely to look around with awe and curiosity as tales like James's become popular. This incident emphasizes the cultural importance of giants in today's society, and further supports the notion that there are still mysteries surrounding us that have yet to be solved. Could these meetings be nothing more than hallucinations, or could they be pointing to a world beyond our comprehension? Two giants in Brazil. 2 enormous creatures were caught on camera by a group of Brazilian witnesses on January 2024 during a family hike who had witnessed an unusual occurrence on top of a mountain. Enthralling observers, these mysterious beings, approximately 10 feet tall, seemed to examine their environment. Their forms were so gigantic that they brought to mind the legendary giants that have enchanted peoples for ages. The hikers were enthralled by the experience, and it ignited conversations about the possibility of extraterrestrial life in our modern world. The experience takes on an air of intrigue due to the fact that these gigantic beings were seen traveling at tremendous speeds. The animals appeared to be aware of their presence but kept their distance, according to witnesses, who characterized the experience as strange. Curious inquiries into the essence of these entities are prompted by this dynamic. Do they stand for anything other than old mythology, or are they artifacts from another time? Local officials' comedic dismissal of the sightings as urban legends exemplifies the difficulties of how modern society views giants. The cultural context of the area may have impacted how people saw the gigantic sightings, given that this event took place in a land full of tales of supernatural creatures. Such interactions are made possible in a setting that is both beautiful and filled with mystical qualities. The fact that stories of remarkable creatures are frequently interwoven with local folklore implies that the concept of giants may not be confined to the past, but may nevertheless influence stories told today. The topic of belief and the human propensity to mythologize events becomes central as individuals discuss the consequences of this sighting. The fascination with gigantic beings appeals to our baser natures, sparking an inquisitiveness that drives us to uncover the secrets of our planet. The pursuit of understanding giants continues to expand with each new tale, drawing us further into the unknown and making us wonder what secret truths may exist within our shared imagination. giant seen in Lablanca? A massive figure standing on top of a hill, staring down at the settlement below, was recently captured on film by locals in Lablanca, Mexico. Considering the historical background of giants in Mexican folklore, this sighting is very noteworthy. Indigenous peoples' stories of giants frequently depict these mythical creatures as strong individuals who are inextricably bound up with the earth and its inhabitants. The movie, which depicts a massive figure scaling a hill, gives these old stories a contemporary spin, sparking debates about whether or not giants still exist in the modern world. The camera angle emphasizes the enormous scale of the figure, drawing attention to the huge gap between the gigantic and the regular inhabitants. The origins of these beings and any link to past occurrences are questions that come up as the community tries to make sense of this sighting. Because this monster looks so much like characters in local folklore, many are wondering if this sighting is just the latest example of long-held beliefs coming to fruition. Fascinatingly, environmental stewardship and the connection between humans and nature frequently cross paths with the worldwide obsession with giants. Supernatural beings from folklore often represent the destructive force of nature and the repercussions of human foolishness. Because of this link, fascinating questions concerning the relevance of seeing a giant in the present era arise. Do these stories from the past serve as a reminder of our interconnectedness with the planet and the stories that have come before us? The sighting has sparked conversations about cultural identity and heritage, which are still ongoing in the community and online. The importance of honoring and preserving these narratives for future generations is highlighted by the fact that they merge myth with reality in this environment. We are invited to contemplate the interconnections between our history and the present, as well as the possible realities concealed inside the narratives we exchange by the giant in Lablanca, who serves as a symbol of the everlasting influence of folklore. How can urban legends affect our reality perceptions and the way we interpret remarkable sightings? Giant seen on mountain wall in Salt Lake City. Unsettling footage captured in a quarry near Salt Lake City appears to show a massive figure slaving away in the mountains. The video went popular on social media as eyewitnesses recounted their experiences with the enormous creature. The footage, which shows the giant's outline against a background of swirling dust, makes one wonder whether giants really exist and what role they play in modern society. Just the thought that such a massive monster could coexist with our mundane daily lives is enough to set our imaginations racing. Coincident with this encounter are other allusions to giants in the Bible, most notably in Genesis, which states that giants roamed the earth long before Noah's time. We are invited to contemplate the consequences of such interactions by the meeting point of contemporary technologies and old stories. As viewers delve deeper into the film, they are confronted with the thought that gigantic beings may lurk beneath the surface of our planet, concealed in the recesses of our urban centers and natural landscapes. The fact that the video has gone viral just serves to heighten people's interest in finding out what it is that they could be seeing. A microcosm of the general public's preoccupation with mystery is the response to the Salt Lake City behemoth. The allure of discovering hidden truths that exist just outside our ken enchants a great number of people. The argument over whether the monster is real or just a product of modern image technology or a well-planned deception is heating up. Some people are still convinced that the footage shows an actual contact with an extraterrestrial being that contradicts our scientific theories. The release of such a film also begs the moral question of how information concerning strange occurrences should be shared. Are these encounters just for fun, or do they reveal something profound about the nature-human bond and the secrets it hides? Delving into the video's ramifications makes us think about the mysteries in the world and our inherent need to seek out the remarkable. Finally, the enormous panorama on Salt Lake City's mountain wall is a potent reminder of the mythology and folklore that has shaped and will continue to influence our shared consciousness. In our pursuit of understanding, we must not forget the importance of imagination in venturing into uncharted territory. Looking for giants forces us to face our concerns and welcomes the awe-inspiring possibilities outside our normal horizons. What mysteries may lie dormant in Salt Lake City's mountain range, and how can the unveiling of these secrets affect our understanding of the world? Andrew Dawson and the Giant. After posting a video of a mysterious towering figure atop a mountain in Vancouver in April 2022, Canadian TikToker Andrew Dawson became an internet sensation. The idea that they might be seeing a gigantic piqued the interest of many who were already intrigued by his assertions. The next day, when Andrew went back to the same spot, he said the figure had disappeared without a trace, which led many to wonder what it was. The mystery surrounding his narrative was further heightened by his claims that he had been approached by people he felt were connected to the CIA, which only added to the occurrence. Some intriguing problems concerning the relationship between technology, perception, and belief are brought up by the character of Andrew's experience. Some others speculated, as the video went viral, that the giant might just be Andrew's imagination or a camera trick. Some thought he had discovered the site of a clandestine government experiment involving gigantic creatures or something equally out of the ordinary. The lack of clarity in the footage and Andrew's assertions has only increased curiosity and conspiracy theories around the phenomena. The changing nature of social media and its impact on public discussions about the paranormal are both highlighted by Andrew's story. A growing number of accounts of strange occurrences are blurring the lines between myth and fact. When faced with skepticism, people seek out others who share their views in giants and other amazing beings, creating communities focused around these shared ideas. There will be more in-depth discussions around reality and how technology affects our perceptions as a result of this group investigation. The tragic tale of Andrew Dawson is a powerful illustration of the enduring fascination with giants in contemporary society. In light of our ongoing predicament, these stories serve as a call to question our assumptions and investigate the enigmas that elude our comprehension. More than just an inquisitive mind, the gigantic mountain in Vancouver's mountains might stand for the incessant hunger for understanding and the enduring fascination with the fanciful that characterizes humankind. How do contemporary interactions with gigantic beings alter our perception of the past and the mysteries of life? Two giants at the pyramids of Giza. A user rumored to have discovered two massive people in a satellite photo near the Great Pyramids of Giza, which they uploaded online in a shocking finding. According to the person's Google Earth description, these gigantic beings stand tall like men and may be descendants of a race that helped build the pyramids. I'm captivated by the idea that giants could have been involved in one of humanity's greatest architectural achievements. It makes me want to learn more about the secrets of these old buildings. Any theory that the pyramids could have been constructed with the help of giants would add an interesting new dimension to their history, which is already rich with intrigue and mystery. Many ancient Egyptian works of art and buildings feature gods or other powerful supernatural figures, attesting to the ancient Egyptians' strong faith in the afterlife. When we compare these legendary beings with the achievements of modern humans, it makes us wonder how much we really know about the skills and knowledge of bygone cultures. A lot of people have thought about where the stories of giants came from in ancient cultures. Some have proposed that it could be because people encountered really huge people, or that people overstated human accomplishments. The human need to understand the mysterious and the unexplainable is likely the driving force for these stories' enduring popularity. Legendary giants inspire us to imagine big by standing in for the unusual and the limits of human capability. Viewers are invited to reevaluate their presumptions regarding the past and the story of human civilization by means of the large images situated close to the pyramids of Giza. Is this our limited comprehension of our history, which includes entities much larger than ourselves, or are we only beginning to uncover its secrets? The hunt for giants is a constant reminder that the past is frequently more complicated and enigmatic than what we may anticipate. as we delve deeper into the possible meanings of these encounters. How may the mysteries surrounding the Giza pyramids affect our perception of mythology and history? Giant spotted on a hill in Spain. As they explored a hill in Spain in December 2022, a group of friends using the Randonautica app came upon a disturbing sight. They filmed a huge figure far out in the distance as they got closer to the app-recommended spot. This fascinating meeting prompted others to speculate as to what they had found and if it was a giant's handiwork or something else entirely. Users frequently report having strange and surprising experiences after following the Randonautica app to strange and out-of-the-way locations. The group decided against approaching the figure in the clip after capturing as much detail as possible because it stood out so much from the landscape. By choosing not to approach, the sighting is much more shrouded in mystery. Viewers were left to wonder if giants were really wandering the Spanish hills as they published their findings online, which could have something to do with the plethora of legends about giants in different civilizations. As a modern-day example of how technology combines with old tales, this incident shows how people can record and share their experiences. The thrill that these kinds of discoveries provide demonstrates how the unknown and the supernatural have always captivated us. These experiences spark conversations on the potential existence of facts beyond our awareness by appealing to people's natural curiosity and amazement as they investigate their immediate environments. Additionally, the responses to the video show how the extraordinary is fascinating to a larger cultural audience. The fascination with gigantic creatures and fantastical beings persists even in this era of instantaneous global communication. The story's development serves as a gentle reminder that our shared mythology conceals many of the world's greatest secrets. The Spanish legend of the monster on the hill compels us to reflect on our ancestry and the ways in which folk tales impact our perception of the world. How do these contemporary interactions provide light on our connection to folklore and the enduring mysteries of our world? Nephilim Photo, a viral sensation. A photo that supposedly showed Nephilim giants under government control went viral over multiple social media platforms when a TikTok user posted it near the end of March 2024. A lot of people were wondering if the photo was real and what it meant. Thus, it caused a lot of controversy. Though some thought the government was trying to keep the giants a secret, others thought the picture might have come from secret archives, maybe even the Vatican, which has a long history of secrecy and old knowledge. This shot perfectly captures the timeless fascination with the idea of gigantic beings. The very name Nephilim conjures up visions of supernatural beings from the Hebrew Bible, prompting speculation about the possibility that such creatures still exist today. Curiosity and aversion to the unknown are both stoked by the thought that a race of giants may still be hidden from humankind. Popular conspiracy theories imply that governments may know about remarkable beings, but choose to keep this information hidden from the public. This tale fits nicely with those notions. Many people started talking about how the photo made them question reality and how much false information can cloud the truth. The difficulty comes from trying to separate reality from fiction in a world where pictures may be changed and stories can be made up. The photo's meteoric rise to fame is indicative of a larger cultural trend toward the pursuit of profound truths, which in turn motivates people to ponder the meaning of life and the universe. This insatiable curiosity has always been a hallmark of humankind, as we have always wanted to know more about our place in the universe and how we got here. The ongoing discussion surrounding the Nephilim photo is a striking illustration of how myth and modernity interact with one another. We are encouraged to ponder the limits of truth and the ways in which legends might enrich our comprehension of the human condition as we delve into these stories. The pursuit of greatness and the secrets they hold compels us to consider our shared history and to welcome the enigmas that mold our perception of the world. What does the prevalence of huge images on social media say about our shared awareness and the staying power of mythology in the modern era? The myths revealed. As we come to the end of our investigation into the mysterious Nephilim giants, it becomes clear that the confluence of legend, folklore, and contemporary sightings holds a fascination for all of us. The tales of giants have a profound impact on our cultural narratives, whether they are tall individuals seen in faraway places or photos that go viral purporting to depict these legendary creatures. Every new meeting and piece of evidence deepens our understanding of human history and forces us to reevaluate the limits of what we know and the mysteries that surround us. The fact that these tales have survived for so long is evidence that, despite our scientific and technological progress, some mysteries remain unsolved. The fascination with giants, whether it be in mythology or first-hand narratives, motivates us to seek knowledge, accept the unknown, and revel in the marvels of our creative capacities. Our fascination with giants may be a reflection of our innermost desires and anxieties, compelling us to face the secrets that exist outside and inside us. As we delve further into these occurrences, we must keep this in mind. From ancient myths to modern sightings, these stories spark our curiosity and challenge our understanding of reality. Did you enjoy exploring these fascinating encounters? If so, please consider liking this video, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future explorations. Don't forget to check out our other videos for more intriguing tales.